From the earliest time of my conversion, I've always had this admiration and this love for the Desert Fathers. The Desert Fathers always inspired me. These are the early Christians who went out into the desert with the one desire of loving God continuously. They did not want to see their hearts grow cold. They wanted the fire of love that was burning in their hearts to burn continuously. And this was their goal as they went out into the desert and sought God. And we think of Psalm 105 verse 4, where the psalmist tells us, seek the Lord's presence continually. Now, the Desert Fathers, they were very practical. They weren't kind of in the clouds. They were very practical about how they would abide in the presence of the Lord Jesus, how they would love God. And it's beautiful to learn the wisdom of the Desert Fathers. But one of the basic principles for us living in the world is, if we want to love God, we need to love our neighbor. To practice the presence of God, to experience the burning love of God in our hearts, we must be kind to others. We must be good to others. We must love our neighbor. And when we do this, we're loving God. In 1 John chapter 4, verse 20, John tells us, he who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen. And so, you nurses, if you're a nurse, you got to be good to your patients, even when it's difficult. Being kind to them, caring for them with love is your way of loving God in the present moment. You school teachers, to love your students. I know sometimes it has to be a hard love, but to be good, to be fair, to be kind to your students. By doing this, you are loving God, and you will experience that burning love of God in your heart, that fire of love of God when you're good to the people around you. Those of you who work in stores, work in retail, you have customers. Sometimes they're difficult. You need to love them. You need to be good to them. You need to show respect to them, to be kind to them. And by doing this, you're loving God. This is very pleasing to God. And so, brothers and sisters, love God and love your neighbor.